in this solution explorer, whatever the file name I created, the same name I also defined in the class as well. It's a default behavior of Visual Studio. When you are just right click on that solution, this is called solution. This the top one. This is called solution, and this control statement is a solution folder name, and this is your project name. So whenever you are right click on that particular name and go for add new item or go for add class, so few of the options are directly available here, but most of the options are available in the add new item options here. And here is a in the left side there is a different templates for different kind of applications, for code, for data, for general, for web kind of a data or files we need. You can select web. If you need a form kind of a data or template, you can click forms. It will display only those template which is executed or useful for Windows application, not the web, not the console. This is for only for WPF kind of application development. This is for SQL Server kind of a file we need. So every that categorization is there. So because we are developing a console applications, we always prefer to choose C#, and in C# we can choose code, and always we need a class file or interface only. So now we are creating a class. So when you create the class, it will ask for the class name. So when the class name you can define, suppose we don't need to change anything. If you don't change anything, it will automatically pick the class name or file name class1.cs. As you can see, we didn't change anything. The file name is also class1.cs, and the class is also created as a class1. So whenever you are creating any project, so the way of creating project is very simple. So simply you have to click on project instead of file or repository, anything. So you have to go to create the project. Project is a whole thing. Inside the project, you can create multiple files, multiple applications. So you can decide first the project.
So in
Then,
one project, you cannot have multiple entry point, right?
no, only if one project having only one entry point. But
Okay.
you can create multiple other functionality, other method, other operations, but entry
Okay.
points would be only one.
Okay. Right.
Multiple project having multiple entry point.
Yeah. Okay.
So every time you have to create a new project for now,
Yeah.
so that you can understand how we will create a new project. So suppose I'm going to explain you the looping things. Okay.
Yeah.
So iteration statement. So let me type the name. Iteration statement demo. So this is a project name.
Right.
This is the solution name. The solution name is also same. If you
Okay.
want to change, you can, but always prefer to choose the project name, and the solution name should be same. But it's not mandatory. This is the version, and just create. It's asking for save the previous, which is already open. So now you can see in the Solution Explorer, this is the Solution Explorer where we can see all types of files, which is auto-generated by the Visual
Okay.
Studio.
I have one more doubt. When I
Mhm.
create a project, all these
Mhm.
things are not by automatic, it is coming.
It's sometimes in the Visual Studio, these options will be not there. It may be possible this option will not there, because this is a kind of a Docker part.
Okay.
It's not always be there. Sometimes by default, or it will be visible when you first time enable it. Then after for the next kind of operations, it will be appear automatically.
So you,
So when
I
you
mean,
create first time, maybe it may
okay.
be possible that option will be not there, but it
Okay.
doesn't
Right.
mean that a project is not created. Still that project is iteration demo, but we can't see anything, right?
Yeah.
But still that is a iteration project. So how we can verify is that iteration project having any files or not? If there is no any options or nothing is available in that screen, it's completely blank. So you can go there, click on Solution Explorer, then you can see all files are available. So
Okay.
by using that solution explorer, you can verify, okay, this iteration statement demo project having a one file is related to configuration, another file is related to program, and that
Okay.
program.cs file having entry point.
Okay.
So
Right.
by this solution explorer, we can verify each and every component which is already created or which is already generated by default or user defined as well. So
Okay.
this is the solution explorer. Few of the components, few of the libraries are automatically created, and few of them the developer will be responsible to add it.
Okay. All the CS files developer will add.
Correct. By default, only one CS file is auto-generated, that is program.cs file, that is having a main entry point. We
Okay.
can't change anything in this file.
Yeah.
This is only purpose to call or write some logic here.
Yes.
If
Okay.
you don't want to create any another files, or you simply want to add two number, for example, if you want to add or display two number or subtract two number or some kind of a even odd program if you want to type, so instead of
Yeah.
you are creating, you thought, okay, it's too much, it's a very simple program, why not we can use that main entry point as a functionality as well, instead of creating another class or another method. So you can do it as well inside that main method. For
Okay.
instance, if I am checking if a or something, int a equals to 8, and then a modulus 2 equals to 0, then console dot write line even. Okay, else console dot write line odd. See, so I'm not interested to create a separate file for this basic logic, but as a developer, always prefer to create a separate file instead of doing code in that main method. Meant to say if console dot read line. See, this is the even number. This is also way to write your program. So for initial, when you are practicing some basic program, as I already shared few of the basic program. So for that basic program, no need to create any other such files or anything. You can directly write your logic inside that main without any confusion and nothing else. Okay. So don't try to create any other files or class. Simply, if you want to write some program and logic, simply open the program.cs file inside that main method, type your logic and try to execute your logic. That's it. When you understand it better way, when you understand everything, okay, this is the process, this is the way of declaring with data type, this is the way of getting input from the user, this is the way of implementing the logic, all the concept, basic concepts, if you have clear, now we can use, then you will able to use the different mechanisms to implementation of logic by creating a different class or different method. Okay, so for being, when you are writing any logic, simply go to that program.cs file, write your logic, execute your logic, verify your logic. That's it. Similarly, I also use the same way so that you will not get confused. When we understand the basic thing, then we can go for creation of a new files or new method, that kind of a things we can do it later. For now, we can understand the loop part. So iteration statement have the first loop, we can use to, and then while. So this is the syntax of implementing do. So for instance, int I equals to 0 and console dot write line, enter the number table equals to convert dot to int 32 console dot read line. And here we can type console dot write line. So dollar num, or I can start I with 1, multiply I equals to num multiply I. Or here we can check the condition. If I less than equals to 10, console read line. So here we declare one variable I and assign 1 into it. Then we ask user to go give one input, and we are trying to print the table of that particular input value. So we access that user input and assign to that num variable. After that, we use a do statement. In this do statement, what we are doing, we are just calculating the number which is given by the user and the incremented value of I. So here in the do statement, where we will also use incremented the I value. So every time I value get incremented, and it will multiply with 2. And then after it will check if I is less than 10, that process will repeat until that condition is false. So this is a do statement. Let me remove the breakpoint. So for example, I enter 4, you can see. So it will repeat the conditions till the condition get false, and it's starting with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 times that process do statement will executed, and after 10 the condition is false, then the loop get breaked and the program get ended. So this is a process of implementing the do while statement. Okay.
Deepak, can you just make one error and show me the debugging process once more? Just can you show me once more the debugging, how to exactly just do some error and you know?
In error debugging will not work.
Uh-huh. No, I
If
just
there
want
is a
to if we are making some mistake,
No,
how
intentionally,
we
intentionally.
if you do some mistake, for example, here I want to try to write line. Instead of write line, what we are doing, we are just writing a small l, small w, or instead of convert capital C, we put C, T, like
and
that. And if we still that error also indicating the same thing, why you are writing like that, that convert is not exist, the right line is not exist, this while statement instead of small w we put capital. So it's clearly mentioned that while is not exist in the current context. But still, if
Yeah.
you are trying to build, so here you can build your solution or try to execute. For instance, you click on that
Yeah.
green button, try
Yeah.
to debug. This will state that your program having error. But still, if you
Okay.
want to click on yes button, if is there
Uh,
any exe is already generated in that location, that old exe get executed. See, old exe got executed. Still, that program is running. It doesn't mean that that program is correctly running because we modified something that that new changes will not applied, and that executable part is a old exe.
okay.
Got my point?
Yeah.
If there is a first time execution process, there is no existing exe is there, this is the first
Okay.
time you are going to compile or run your program. In that situation, it will throw an error. For instance, let me clean it. So when we clean everything, the folder get empty, and then I am trying to execute. See, so Visual
Mm.
Studio didn't find any kind of a exe or file available in that directory. So it expected that demo.exe, iteration statement demo.exe need to be there, but it's saying that it is missing.
Mm.
Why is message or appear? Because you click yes instead of no, because the programming having an issue. So you are not resolving that issue and you are trying to execute that exe file. So the Visual Studio trying to find that exe file with the name of this project, iteration statement demo.exe.
Okay.
But before cleaning, you can see when we click on yes, the program get executed. Correct? Why
Yeah.
get executed? Because at the
Because.
first time the program successfully compiled and that
Right.
exe is generated in that location.
Mm-hmm.
So still, if you are trying to build or you're trying to execute this one, click no, it will automatically pop up error. So this
Okay.
is a sixth error in this program. So one by one, you can go there. Suppose in the first error, while expected, you double click, it automatically goes to that line and they expect this is a while statement need to be corrected. So now we will correct while in the small letter. Now the error goes.
Yeah.
Now the next issue is related to convert. When we correct it, it clearly mention the name convert doesn't exist. It means there is a syntax error. We correct it. There is a syntax error. We correct it. Now there is a one error related to that console. Right line is not defined. So we can correct the right line also. Now if you try to execute 5,
Yeah.
it will execute it perfectly. Okay.
Okay.
Debug is a different process. Debugging is a process to track your applications one by one, line by line. So
Okay.
when we click on here and we can start the program, it will automatically break it into that particular debug point, and clicking by F10, we can proceed line by line and check what will be the output. So in this line, the program needs user input. So it will go to that command prompt. Then next line, in do statement, they are trying to put the uh, trying to display the message, the num having a 4 value, then I having a 1, then num having a value of 4, and we are multiplying. So result is 4 and multiply by n, whatever the result. Then
Mm-hmm.
next increment, then while condition is true, again go to do. See, condition is true, I having value of 4, still condition is true, condition is true. This process repeat until this condition false. So still it is true. So what is the value? That is 9. Now after 9, the value is 11. Now this condition false. See,
Right.
I less than equals to 10, that condition is false. Now the loop break and it come to that 24 line. The program ends.